something that's been on my mind for a while now is the fact that the NHL series has not come up with a new game mode in a very, very long time. At least an online game mode that you would actually want to play. And what I mean is, right now, as NHL 25 stands, you have EASHL and you have Hockey Ultimate Team. Those are really your two options, right? And in the backdrop today, I have some squad battles. I'm just going to play it while we talk a little bit. But these are really your two options. And it's crazy to me because it's been a while, right? I mean, so ESHL came out in NHL '09, and I believe Hockey Ultimate Team would have been 13 if I'm not mistaken. I could be a year or two off on that one, but it was definitely around by 14. So we're over a decade of HUT and ESHL, and there's just been no new game mode. And the reason that this bugs me is because it feels like don't get me wrong, I love these two game modes. I play them all the time. I have played a lot of Ultimate Team this year, specifically squad battles. I'm not really much of one to sweat online in HUT anymore. I can't hang. I can't keep up with people these days. I'd rather just play offline, chill out, maybe shoot a video, talk some shit about NHL here and there. That's more of my style. I do play EASHL a lot though. I really enjoy playing with my friends, but even that gets a little crazy sweat wise. But no need to really talk about that today. But I do play these game modes. I enjoy these game modes very much. But it feels like we're due for something new. You know, I've talked a lot about EA and kind of what I feel like they've been, what I feel like they used to do right, or I always preferred the older games really, but this the series right now is so prime for something new that could really elevate it. Because if you think about it, at least this is my personal opinion on it. I think that EASHL really, really shifted the gaming, at least the sports gaming landscape when it came out. Because it came out in '09, and that was a time where you didn't have My Park in NBA 2K. You didn't have I don't think FIFA Pro Clubs was a thing yet. And now both of those games have those things, and they're some of the most, I mean, obviously FIFA Ultimate Team is more popular, but they became huge successes. But I believe NHL was the innovator when it came to that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but even if they aren't, that was still a big step in sports gaming. The fact that you could play with your friends, and I know from experience seeing people, like I've played NHL with people that are brand new to the series, and they love EASHL. Like they love it. They're like, the fact that you could play with your friends is so awesome. So that game mode is still working very well, but it just makes me wonder, like, imagine if EA took another chance at making a game mode like that, how great it could be for the series. If they, and I don't know necessarily what direction you could go in. I think you have options. I think honestly, like a blend of, I was thinking like a blend of ESHL and maybe not Ultimate Team, but something where like real players are involved, like the actual like NHL players, and you're creative. Like you have you have a lot of tools in your arsenal. You have Be a Pro that people love. You have ESHL that people love. Obviously, a lot of people have been wanting a good franchise connected. Like I don't know much about I didn't play it when it was out. I know people love that. I'm pretty sure it's not in the game now. Maybe I'm not 100% on that one, but there there's tools here that they could use. Like that's the point I'm trying to make, is that you have everything here. It's just you got to kind of put it together and take a creative risk like you did with ESHL in NHL '09, because that really propelled the series forward. Like I feel like that was probably one of the most consequential NHL games that we had, and not a lot of people even remember it. But it really it really changed things for the better, and it's because they took a chance with that game mode when they needed to. And I feel like today, if they do something, like if they try again, if they try something, if they try to take that creative risk, the series could really take off. Because another thing you have to keep in mind is the state that the NHL, the actual NHL, is in right now is great. You have new NHL teams coming into the league pretty often. Expansion is here, and it's probably going to keep happening for a little while now. I don't know when the next one's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be that far away. So you have expansion, you have franchise values going through the roof, you have salary caps going up, players are making more money, there's more attention on the sport. Obviously, the Four Nations face-off was a huge success. It put a lot of eyeballs on hockey. And yeah, the video game is important because, I mean, as you guys know, video games are much different now than they were years ago, and that people take them a lot more seriously now, and they're definitely viewed in a different light than they were back in the day. Now it's really it's business, and not necessarily in a bad sense, because when people hear business, they're like, oh, just microtransactions and money and greed and all that. And don't get me wrong, that's definitely a thing, and it's a problem. But there's also a good side to business in that the way that you're handling your video game is important, and the way that it's an introduction to the sport for a lot of people, which is crazy. But when I know, I've seen it personally, like I've seen people get introduced to NHL through the video game when they release it for free, which is usually, it should be coming soon actually. I know they do it like Xbox Game Pass in April, something like that. They put NHL out for free, and a lot of people go and play the game, and that's how they're introduced to hockey. So what you're doing as a franchise, it matters. What you're doing at EA does matter, and you come up with the right game mode. I mean, look at the impact that the park has had in just mainstream culture with 2K. There, arguably, NBA 2K is more popular than the actual NBA. Is that a good thing? No, I don't think so. But NBA has its own problems today, obviously, but the game has made a huge impact on people. Huge impact on people. And that's where hockey can get to if they do things right. And it's because of that game mode. It's for nothing else. It's that game mode alone that has absolutely transcended the sport itself, which is something that, yeah, NHL could do. And, I've talked a lot about my problems, and I complain about EA currently, but I'm making this video more from a place of hope, because I think hockey has never been more ripe for things to really come together and kind of form a perfect storm, if you will, for the sport, for the growth of the sport. And I really do think that the video game is a huge part of it. It's a huge part of it because if you do the right things, you have the right people making the right decisions, understanding that yes, a game mode is really important, and it's not just a video game. It's actually introducing people to your sport. It's getting people to click on stuff on whatever social media platform they're on. Excuse me, I'm almost choking here, talking too much. But I just feel like, really, you find that new game mode, you find that new innovation. Like it's time, it's time, because we've been in a lull for a little while now. I would say, I mean, really, since we've made it to new generation consoles. Because if you think about it, what new game mode have we gotten on the new generation of consoles? And I'm not even talking about PS5, PS4, and Xbox One, because HUT was on the generation before that. ESHL was on a generation before that. We haven't had a game mode new to to two generations of consoles now. So it's like it's time. It's time for a new something different, and it has to be online. It can't be some offline thing. No, it has to be online. And it's like, and people say, well, what can you do? I don't know. That's on the create. I mean, I gave some ideas. I think you can blend ESHL with actual NHL players. Something there. I don't know if it's necessarily something like the kind of like, I mean, the park. There's no actual. Well, there is involvement. It is kind of what the park is on NBA. But if you don't want to go in that direction, get some creative people to come up with some ideas. There's so much you can do. There's so much you can do with hockey that it just feels like I don't know, they don't think that it'll resonate. I don't know what it is, but the sport has never been in a better place, and I feel like if they just take this chance right now, come up with some new game mode that'll really reel people in, it'll be so great for the sport. Oh, it really, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I don't know. I don't I'm gonna keep playing NHL, but I really don't want NHL 26 to be the same thing, because it's the same thing every year now. It's the same game, it's the same modes, it's the same stuff. Like, again, I play these modes. I enjoy these modes. I enjoy Hockey Ultimate Team. I enjoy ESHL. I have fun on them. I'm not saying I don't. I play it a lot. A stupid amount. I have hundreds of hours on this game. I've had hundreds of hours on the other NHLs. But I'll tell you what, if they did something new and unique and I would spend even more time playing this freaking game. But anyway, it's pretty much all I got for you guys. Just wanted to share some thoughts. Love to hear what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have any ideas for what a new game mode on NHL could look like? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.